Do you care too much about your team? Do you suffer from irrational anger when your team loses? If a player requests a trade, do you consider them a traitor? Hi, I'm Julie Stewart-Binks, and we here at Fubo Sports Network are concerned about fans who care too much about their team. We want to remind you that sports are entertainment and meant to be a fun distraction, not something to get into a physical altercation about. If you want to help sports fans enjoy the game rather than getting drunk and upset and yelling at strangers, call the number on your screen to get your loved one the help they need. Together, we can make a difference. Oh. The Raptors have traded Kyle Lowry. Those fucks, they got rid of Kawhi. What are we doing in Toronto? We got nothing. I hate sports. Volunteers are standing by to speak with you or your loved ones. Call the number on your screen today. Welcome on in to Call It a Night, the show where we like to drop the gloves and microwave everyone. I'm your host, Julie Stewart-Binks, and boy, do we have a nice little epi for you today. We are so excited to welcome former MLB pitcher Nelson Figueroa to the program. Figgy, thank you so much for joining me in my apartment here today.
Pleasure. This is nice.
Yeah, it's nice. It's only half of a room, but hey, we'll get to the full room.
It's New York.
Soon enough. It is. There's no mice, at least. We're going to catch up with you in just a second on exciting MLB playoffs, Nelson's career on and off the field, and we're going to get a bit silly, because that's what we do here. But first, let's dive into tonight's headlines. The New York Mets may now be out of the playoffs, but you have to give credit to how the team has grown this year. If you look at the beginning of the season to now, you can see how they've gone from upstart underdog to crushing disappointment. The lone bright spot in the Mets' abysmal season is Pete Alonzo, likely Rookie of the Year, who's hit 51 home runs. It's the biggest waste of talent since Jack Nicholson was in Mars Attacks.
Oof.
It's true, though.
It's true.
I mean, it's great for Pistol Pete, but yikes.
For Jack.
For Jack, yes. Who saw Mars Attacks? Despite an awful start to their season where they were 12 games under 500, the Washington Nationals have clinched a playoff berth. This is the biggest comeback in Washington since Bernie Sanders returned for seconds at the Denny's Early Bird Special.
Oh, my.
Gotta get a little politics in there. Now, finally, some good news for the Baltimore Orioles. Their magic number is 162.
Facts.
Hyunjin Ryu, the Cy Young contender with the Dodgers, hit his first dinger of the year. At 255 pounds, Ryu's not the fastest runner. When he finally reached home, everyone was already on the 101. That's an LA joke. Got to take the 101 to the 110 to the 405.
It's an LA reality.
Yeah, and I mean, whatever. You got the playoffs. Who needs anything more right now? Bears running back Tariq Cohen decided to hop on Instagram Live right after Monday Night Football when suddenly teammate Kyle Long started undressing in the background, ending up completely naked. In other words, he did an end around when he should have been in full coverage. Anyway, after Long, who plays guard, appeared naked, he started trending online. In fact, there hasn't been this much controversy surrounding a guard since Jeffrey Epstein.
And his name is Long, huh? Okay.
Yes. The news just keeps getting worse for Antonio Brown. First, he was traded by Pittsburgh, then released by the Raiders, then by the New England Patriots, and today the NFL launched an impeachment inquiry. Antonio Brown announced he has re-enrolled in classes at Central Michigan. Among his October courses, Brown will be taking a religion class called Death and Dying. Oh, no, wait, I'm sorry. That's the class about his career in the NFL.
True story.
He did it to himself. 2 years removed from winning the Super Bowl, the Eagles are only 1-2 and struggling mightily. There hasn't been this much disappointment to come out of Philadelphia since Rocky V.
Ouch.
They should have just stopped after the first one. Rex Ryan called Browns quarterback Baker Mayfield overrated as hell. Over the past 2 seasons, Mayfield has thrown more interceptions than any other NFL quarterback, which means it's only a matter of time before he plays in the CFL. That's a good thing, right?
No.
Canada.
No. It's really not.
It's only, 3 downs. It's easier.
Oh, boy.
In Arizona, Toronto Maple Leaf center Austin Matthews was charged with disorderly conduct after an incident in which he dropped his pants in front of a female security guard and grabbed his butt cheeks. It's the most embarrassing scandal to happen to Canadians since last week.
Oof.
At least this won't hurt his campaign to be Captain Underpants. That does it for tonight's headlines, baby, and print it. And with that, we are ready to party with the best of them. We're gonna go down to the river. Had to finish that quote. We're gonna take a quick break. When we return, we're gonna talk all playoffs, everything baseball with Nelson Figueroa. Stay tuned. What the hell am I talking about next? All right, welcome back into Call It a Night. It's an exciting time in baseball as we gear up for the Fall Classic. And for that, we're so thrilled to welcome in former MLB pitcher Nelson Figueroa to the show. Thank you for coming on here with us today. We've got playoffs coming up. We still have a couple of different teams trying to fight their way in, and a potential tiebreaker of like 3 teams in the AL wildcard. Can you take us through this? Like, we're trying to figure it out here, just how it all works.
Well, the way it works is that you're waiting for game 162 to be over. Right now, there's one team that's just out, which is the Cleveland Indians. They're knocking on the door. And you have the 2 teams, the lovable perennial losers that nobody talks about, but meanwhile, they win 95-plus games every year. It's Oakland and Tampa Bay. Somehow they do it with less money, less talent, and they get it done every year with just a hodgepodge, a mixture. It's like a tossed salad. You just keep putting ingredients.
See what happens.
It comes out better the next year. Oh, this is now my new salad. That's what they do every year. And the Cleveland Indians are just on the outside, trying to continue this push. And there's only 4 games left, so we'll see if they can make it very interesting and have to be a playoff to be in a playoff to be in a playoff. Yeah,
that's wild. This is great though for everyone, because this is what we want with baseball. Because we always lament the fact that there's so many games and it takes so long. But even for some teams like the Mets and the Phillies, rest in peace right now. Just got to ask you about that first and foremost. We saw the Mets not so good. They're good, not so good, okay. What happens next with them?
Well, that's the whole drama of a major league season, right? 162 games, and you want to have a little bit of everything involved in it, so that this way, at the end, hopefully is when you're really at the good and you can take it into the playoffs. And it wasn't happening for them this year. They won 15 out of 16 games at the wrong time of the season. They did it in August rather than doing it in September. If you did it in September, that's where the mojo kicks in and you take it to another level. And they weren't able to sustain that. And it was very difficult because then that became an expectation. Welcome to New York, right? And all the New Yorkers are like, oh, if they can win 15 out of 16, why can't they do it again? Because it's not that easy. No. It's never been that easy.
They always give you that hope, too.
They always give you that little bit of hope. And when you look at the pitching staff that they have, and you have a Jacob deGrom, who no matter how good he is, he's still a losing pitcher almost. With his record, his career record, you cannot believe how good can someone be and still not have victories attached to their name. That's really the sad part. But deGrom should be a 2-time Cy Young Award winner. The way that he pitched again this year, and he started off a little rocky and just got better and better as the season went on. Finishes off with 24-plus scoreless innings. It's par for the course when it comes to Jacob deGrom, right? I think with the other guys, there's 2 guys in particular. That would be the Familia-Diaz combo that really...
Yeah, they were real
If you could have half of those games back, they would be right there in the thick of it, pushing to the last game of the season.
So because we're in New York, I'm just going to put you on the spot. You got to play some bets. Mickey stays, Mickey goes. What happens?
I think Mickey gets one more year. I think Brody and the rest of the front office, they like what Mickey can do with the information that's given to him. They seem to work well in conjunction that way. Most fans want Mickey to go. Most fans always clamor for the days of yore. They want those old school managers, those tougher guys, the Terry Collins with a little bit more personality, guys that rile the team up. But I don't know if that works in today's game. I think there's going to be some interesting names out there in this offseason, and I think they're going to wait until the very last minute to make that move.
See what happens.
If it's going to be a move.
Well, we got a winning team here in New York. Of course, Yankees probably on a collision course to meet the Astros. You grew up in New York. This is not really a town that people come from and play in the majors, because just the accessibility, competition, what's sort of the way you were able to make it?
A multitude of factors. One of the things was I went outside of New York to get scouted. So I wound up being at Brandeis University up in Boston, a small Division III school where nobody ever really heard of it. But I went there for my education, and then I was able to play in the Cape Cod League, which was right there near Massachusetts, and I was able to stand out. So it was kind of, I went with the big fish in a little pond theory.
Right. And
then once I got to the Cape Cod League and showed that I could hang with the big boys of Division I baseball, then it was like, all right, we'll take a shot at with this kid. I mean, I was only a 30th round draft pick, but made the most of every opportunity I was given. Got to play baseball around the world for 19 years. Got paid to do it, got a uniform. I have all the uniforms to prove it.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the blessings that I had to play that long and have that many experiences and win championships all over the world and be able to take that and harness that for the second half of my career when I went into being an analyst.
Right, yeah, you're an analyst. You're hanging with the big girls here on this show here today. Yeah. Now, we got to ask you, just because it'd be remiss not to, but we read a lot about what happened with you at SNY and all that. Like, what happened with everything?
I think basically what it comes down to is it's kind of ran its course. 4 years, I was nominated for 4 Emmys. Going into year 5, thinking that it was going to be a chance to do bigger and better things, they decided to go a different direction. Having said that, I was on a different show and going to have to work almost 3 times as much to make half as much, and it was a very stressful time, I think, on all parties. I don't feel like that was the best fit for me at that point, and I think it just kind of ran its course. If you've seen Jerry Maguire,
yes.
I have the goldfish in my house right now. Let's just put it that way.
Okay. All right. Well, we can take your analysis on our show now. So we'll welcome you with open arms, and we'll pay you in pizza. But though we do have some questions. You mentioned how many uniforms that you've worn and how many fun things. We've got Binks Bunts, my new segment, if you will. I don't know if there's a graphic. Okay, graphic, Binks Bunts. Nelson, what was your favorite team to play for?
My favorite team to play for, of course, was the Mets. Growing up here, I think grew up a Mets fan, and so it was a dream come true. One of the stories I always tell is my first year when I got drafted, I was wearing Howard Johnson's jersey and Dwight Gooden's pants.
Oh, okay.
So that right there for a kid growing up in New York could have been everything. I still do a lot of things with the Mets organization. I do fantasy camp in January, and so I get to be one of 24 coaches, and so I get to see all those old-time greats. So I get to see all the old-school catchers, Mackie Sasser, John Stearns, Ed Hearns, Todd Pratt, Turk Wendell was there, Dwight Gooden was there, Mookie Wilson is there, so you go down to fantasy camp.
You're gonna have to pick up all those names off the ground, baby.
When you start to get as big as I am, that's what happens. Get included in those
love it. We love egos. Funniest manager?
Funniest manager? Oh, man. You know who was? Jerry Manuel. Jerry Manuel, the gangster. Remember, he's quoted as telling Jose Reyes, next time I want to take you out a game, you don't come out, I'll cut you.
Ooh.
And he said that in front of a conference room full of reporters with no fear. In other words, you can quote me on that one.
Sounds just like OJ. All right, we got to wrap up this quick Binks Bunts. We're going to have to get to that at another point, but we have a lot of fun coming up on the program. Don't go anywhere. We're going to play a game. Are these athlete tweets bull or real? All that more coming up next. Hey guys, welcome on back to Call It a Night. We are getting into tons of shenanigans here on the program today. I'm JSB, we've got Nelson Figueroa, and we've got our resident guest host, Mike Lockyer. Mike, what are you working on today?
Oh, something big, Julie. Athletes on Twitter say some crazy things, and sometimes we can't believe them. So we came up with a little game called That's BS. I'll read you a tweet from a famous athlete, and you need to tell me if that tweet is real or if that's BS.
Ooh.
Nelson, are you ready?
Bring it on.
All right, here we go. Nelson, did Arian Foster tweet, "Bathroom stall designers gotta stop making the door open towards the toilet. Be feeling trapped after the flush." Is that tweet real or is that BS?
Arian Foster's pretty, I'm gonna say he's spiritual. He does the little Zen master thing after his touchdowns. I'm gonna say that's real.
That is real! Hey, there we go, off to a good start.
That's a point, too. I mean,
He's thinking,
It's
that
tough.
Arian Foster. How do you feel about bathroom stalls?
They serve their purposes.
yeah.
Good. Julie, did Le'Veon Bell tweet, "If you don't love sea otters, I don't f with you"? Is that tweet real or is that BS?
Oh man, Le'Veon Bell's got a whole treasure chest of good tweets out there, and I'm gonna say that is not one of them.
Whoa, that is BS. You are right.
Yes, that is
You are
good
right.
old bullshit.
I still think it's good policy.
It's a great policy.
Yeah.
Sea otters are adorable. Nelson, did Darnell Dockett tweet, "I just farted in the chair while the lady blow drying my hair. Damn, I'm pissed. Cause the heat is making it stronger than it was before." Nope, sorry. Then the heat is making it stronger. That was a bad idea. Is that real or BS?
God, that poor lady.
Hot farts.
Hot farts. I think it makes a lot of sense, but I'm gonna have to go with that's BS.
Are you sure?
That's BS.
Oh, that's real. That really happened.
There was too much science.
That really
There was too much science
happened.
behind it. I should have went
there
with
were
it.
too many steps with that.
He was being real.
All right, tied at 1. Julie, is this
Hey.
Kevin Durant tweet real or is it BS? Scarlett Johansson, I will drink your bathwater. Hashtag random.
Oh man. Again, was this from his burner account or from the real one?
Ooh,
Can't ask
went
for
there.
follow-up.
No follow-ups.
100% real.
100% real. Julie,
Yeah.
taking the lead, Julie.
I know my
Oh, yeah.
Scarlett Johansson trivia.
Do we take baths here? Anyone a fan of baths?
Not anymore.
Not
anymore.
Not anymore.
As long as you don't drink the bathwater, you're fine. Nelson.
Like a story behind that.
Yeah. I think we need to get into that.
That's for another night.
Nelson, did Skip Bayless tweet,
Oh boy.
Johnny
That's BS. Whatever it is.
Johnny Football will one day be bigger in Cleveland than his buddy LeBron ever was. Is that
'cause
tweet
he
real
hates LeBron.
or is that BS?
He hates LeBron with a passion, and for some reason thinks he's not one of the greatest players of all time. And he was a huge Johnny man. Yeah, that's real.
That's real. There it is, Nelson.
That's Skip. That's all you have to do is say Skip.
Yeah, I know.
So good.
Tied at 2.
So,
Here we go.
Old takes.
Julie can
Okay.
take the lead here. Did Dwight Howard tweet, "My cuz just told me he likes to get down and dirty to Backstreet Boys. I told him it's Blackstreet. He said, nah, the white dude band. Hashtag shake my head." Is that tweet real or is that BS? Let me know if you need a repeat on that
like
one.
a huge conversation.
That's
he
a-
just like decided to tweet like, and then he said, and then I said. and
Yeah. It's tough.
That means
Both
it's gotta
great
be
bands.
recent because it's like in the 280 characters.
Yes, yep.
I'm gonna go
strategy.
with.
My
Someone just
goodness.
tweeted a little bit, huh?
That is real.
Are you sure?
Yep.
That is BS, Julie.
Ah!
That's
Oh man.
whole
that
mess
was
of balls.
Tell you what, that was
so
close though.
distinct.
It was
You
very
made that up.
specific.
Very-
How'd I make that up? That's a great question.
Yeah.
Nelson,
Yes.
is this Kirk Cousins tweet real or BS? Say what you want. One Tree Hill is better than Dawson's Creek. Hashtag Chad Michael Murray for life. Third place is the OC.
For his sake. That's BS.
Third place is Theo's.
Yeah, no. When you go 3 levels deep, there's no coming back from that. So no, I'm sorry.
You're calling BS?
Yes.
That is BS, Nelson.
Kirk
OC
Cousins.
is
We
number
apologize
one,
for even
baby.
putting that on there.
Yeah.
It is 3-2 Nelson. Julie, can you tie it up?
Okay.
Did Mike Tyson tweet? At Holyfield's ear would have been much better with his new BBQ sauce. Check it out, realdealbbqsauce.com, #TGIF. Is that tweet real or is that
That
BS?
tweet is real.
Wow, Julie.
Yes, it had to be real. It was so ridiculous.
Tied at 3.
Unnecessary.
We are tied
promo.
at 3. How do you feel about eating ears with well, let's not get into
I was chewing on this corner of this
Yeah.
pillow for a second.
That would be better with BBQ sauce. Nelson is tied at 3.
All right.
You can win it here. Did Chad Ochocinco tweet?
Yes. Oh, well.
Not yet. He did tweet. I'm about to strip down to my drawers and beat someone silly in Madden, FIFA, F-it, NHL Live 2. #nasty, #let the boys breathe.
Oh.
Is that tweet real or is that BS?
See, Ocho Cinco's a gamer. I know that for sure. And yeah, he would challenge anybody in anything. It's the hashtag that's kind of giving me a little bit of pause. Should have gave him pause, but that's real.
This is it.
That's
Are you
real.
Sure, you're sticking with that answer? You are wrong.
No!
It is BS.
Like so hockey. Let the boys breathe.
Let the boys breathe.
No,
I also
that had
know
nothing to do with hockey.
That's
Nothing.
that was all. Julie,
that
you
was
can
just anyone, I guess.
you can win it here.
Okay.
Did Deion Sanders tweet? Anyone else get annoyed at Swamp Ass when wearing a $9,000 suit? Is that tweet real or is that BS?
Well, I'm gonna go
For the win.
for the win. I'm gonna say 100% BS.
There it is! And Julie wins it.
There was no way he tweeted
Here we go. We have a very special prize for the winner.
What did I get? What did I get? What did I get?
A
What did I
lot, and we
get?
got mints.
Oh,
Take
mints,
all the
mints,
mints.
yes.
We've got more mints.
All the free
Everyone
mints
needs
that we
fresh
have
breath.
in the lobby here.
And you know what? It's 2019.
They're no longer in the lobby. They're yours.
Everybody wins a little something here.
Wow.
Participation.
Mints.
I don't do participation trophies.
Participation.
I don't do
He doesn't get any
participation
of those.
trophies.
Those are my damn mints. All right.
She earned them.
Nelson, great participation. Thank you so much for being a
Thank
part
you.
of this. Mike, as always, the host with the most in our game show world. And with that, we're going to take our final timeout on the program. Which camera? Which camera? Right here. We're going to be back after this on Call It a Night. Don't go anywhere. We're going to call it a night, but not yet.
I'm Ryan Neese, and I had to call it a night.
Hey everyone, welcome back in. We are just about to call it a night after a wild and wacky show. And Nelson, gotta ask you, what are you up to these days? What's going on in your world?
Well, I'm currently the executive director of outreach for voteinorOut.com, and it's a voter education app. What we're trying to do is take out all the noise of what's going on with the left and right, CNN, Fox, and you don't know what is real and what isn't. So we're giving an opportunity for researchers and for people who want to look for the truth of politics, have a chance. There's crowdsourced information. You go in, you vote it up, you vote it down, and usually what happens is the cream rises to the top.
Right.
It's fact-checked rigorously, and then you get good information on the candidates that are available. There's a lot of other mechanics to it, the Facebook almost building a profile, all the way down to Tinder, where at the end you're going to vote in or out on those politicians,
That's
and it gives them a
easy.
heads up, gives them a heads up on how people are feeling.
For people. Thank you so much. So you can go visit that. Thank you for joining us and getting all crazy with us. I'm going to hire you as our baseball analyst again.
Yes.
Pizza is the compensation.
Love
Make sure
pizza.
you guys catch us on Fubo Sports Network. We loop 1,000 times. And for clips and highlights, follow us on Fubo Sports Network. On Twitter, me on JSB_TV. We're calling it a night.